a bustling colony, a ship at sea, and everything we need before research too, coming from our humble beginnings of just 6 trucks and some scrap. Join me for a playthrough of Captain of Industry. Hello and welcome to another round of Captain of Industry from the start. So, the plan is to try and just run this through, make it tidy as can be. And the trick of that is remembering all the things we need at the start, which do include a research lab and a coal maker to a blast furnace to a metal caster for our recycled materials. And let's send 2 of our trucks to go get trees. And this will be our very temporary setup to start. One of the changes I'm planning to do with my build out this time is sending a string of blast furnaces all together and using one molten channel for a whole lot of them. Molten channels have a flow of, where does it show this? I think it's 300 per minute. And while you can basically pair 2 metal casters directly to one blast furnace, you get a little better thing when we start getting into making steel, of having all the molten bits there. Alright, in the latest patch, all trees must be designated before they are harvested. So, let's fix that up. That explains why my trucks are hanging out idle. No, I want those trees cut. Cool. Okay. So trees will go there for coal. I'll take coal, we got the slag and iron ore, and scrap parts. We started doing that, and we're missing the input of coal. So everything got hung up by not having the trees going. Okay, next part, we know we need research, and we need it early. And we're also running into the early problem of our exhaust from smelting. And as much as it takes extra parts, I am going to do 2 of them just to avoid blocking with pipe paths. There we go. Alright, next up, I'm not feeding anyone anything. Farms are going to be in the to-do list. This, I think, pairs out 2 to 1, so let's kick another channel there. Okay, so we're producing 6 coal. Consuming 9 coal, producing 24 molten metal. Well, if we had enough coal coming in. But that's okay for our starting progress. Research is going as far as the lab's existence. Next I want construction. I have enough vehicles right now. And we'll do vehicles next. Okay, should I move on to a farm? I can't move on to a farm, I haven't researched it. So we'll just speed the game up. See what we can progress. want to get on mining as soon as possible. The 30 trees to 6 coal is painful. Just on principle. And now I have these metal sheets and nothing happening with them either. Which, is there manual assembly or is that the first one researched? Open research. Power and beacon. Let's get population going as I quickly consume that as well. There we go. Assembly manual. Alright, we're taking 4 iron or 8 per 60, and we're producing plenty more than that. So we should double up our manual assembly. And that'll get me parts. Now we're researching vehicles and mining, and still waiting. The greatest part of me just doesn't want to overbuild on my parts, because I've done that in earlier playthroughs, and then the critical things that I needed weren't available, or were blocking me up later. But a research lab's relatively cheap, and they're only costing Unity. So let's keep that going faster for now. What will be next? Farming. And then maintenance. Alright, so we have vehicles. We need a vehicle depot. How are we doing on parts? Yeah, that'll do. And a couple trucks to assign to it. And a mine control tower. And do it again over here for coal. One excavator, at least 2 trucks. I think that's bound up on iron right now. Might be possible to... Yeah, I think we can duplicate this setup. And also I will run into a problem if I'm not dropping my slag anywhere. That's the start of a ramp. Let's see how backed up these are on slag out of curiosity. Oh, we don't get any slag during the scrap metal phase. That's why everything's not terrible yet. Okay. I know we have pipes. I used some. There we go. Oh, it's a good thing this is all a temporary setup and I plan to tear the entire part of it down. We're still waiting for materials delivery because we don't have enough iron plate yet. And we have completed much research. Water will be a next requirement. And loose material storage will be the thing that makes this all work. Followed by construction 2 till we can get conveyor belts and link them all together. Then we'll need copper. And that will at least feed our maintenance. Something feels awkward of building off of the initial materials without knowing the feeling of what needs to be brought in. Alright, this will be farmland. Just leave a gap for vehicles and the occasional pipe to get through. We have not enough workers. Which brings us back to our electricity research. Power production, a diesel generator. Can just hang out here in front of the docks. And somewhere here will be a lighthouse. It's a beacon. Let's have people come to us. Alright, no point running that farm with workers it won't have. How are we at for housing? 80 of 120, that's good. Water is now a possibility. And water will get us more unity. The problem we have is that I see we have no wood in stock, which means it's all going into, well, predictably, the coal, which means we need to get off of coal. And we have a vehicle up. I'm going to start with coal before I start with iron, just to see how that works out for me. I'll turn this off and hope it doesn't totally destroy the supply chain. Alright, we have workers for crops, alternating potato and manure. I think we can do this with just setting the two and it'll work out. We will try it like that. And then our settlement needs the water facility that water will go into. Pipes that will deliver the water to it. Okay. No. Connect, please. There we go. And the lack of good sense to do that one flat before I over here and connect it to it. So we'll make the connection up high. And truth be told, that pipe isn't even necessary. The trucks will carry the water over, just as they will have to carry the wastewater over to dump it. Because we don't have a liquid dump yet, and I'm not going to pipe that over there. The eventual goal is going to be to closed loop recycle the wastewater, but one joy at a time. No mining is happening because no mine has been defined. Alright, XF is the shortcut for that. And then just to make it level to start. Alright, we now have coal supplying, I would say, much faster than we were getting it out of converting wood. and certainly more economical because that wood is now available to other needs within our small little civilization. We're almost out of iron. Recycled. So it's very good that we have that other excavator on the way, which is waiting for iron. Ugh. No, actually a pickup truck is waiting for iron. That concerns me. I might end up having to switch the excavator around, doing alternating duty. Because we're just using up too many parts. To wit, let's stop. No, we don't have any surplus of construction materials either, so that's not it. No food supply. And people are not happy with not being fed. Or overcrowded. Well, we've run into a challenge. I've overscaled something too early, and I'm not sure what it was, but I'm paying for it. Why don't we turn this off? Because I definitely don't want anybody new arriving until we reach some form of stability. Like that harvest that we just had. Thank heavens. I've played it through a couple times. I've learned my lessons. Colony collapse. Alright. 14 available workers. Everybody's going to where they need to be. But we're 8 iron short of being able to complete our excavator. So let's kick it over there, where the mined iron will be smelted down into iron plates to create an excavator that we can reassign to the coal, and that should work. Where did the excavator go? Okay. I hope it's fueled enough to not do anything particularly stupid. Hooray. I'm not sure I'm researching anything. I am still researching, that's good. At least that's coming along. Let the mining begin. I have a feeling once this game gets off of alpha status that the... Oh, look, these ones brought things with them. That the devs will get away from these initial very rich resources. And maybe pressure us a little more in the mid-game. Because you can get through the whole early part of the game without expanding your coal or iron resources into these newer areas. The thing with that is that you're also left wondering, well, a thought lost. Alright, we have enough power. And we have a steady supply of things. We should have that new excavator, I hope. No. It is still waiting on 8 iron plate. Yeah, I'm going to turn the beacon on and risk overcrowding and food issues in exchange for materials. I'm going to hope that works out to be an appropriate trade-off. If I can get 1 delivery of iron plate... Oh, there's an excavator. Alright. And I'll get further truck creation, and that'll be good as well. Alright, slag's being carried away. Iron's being brought in. Things are doing what they... Maintenance. I forgot maintenance. Where is it? Where is it? This should be easier to find. Vehicles? Nope. Maintenance? Yes. Why can't I figure out where I want this? This isn't complicated. I'm making it complicated when it doesn't need to be. Alright, new maintenance. Hopefully our refugees... Yeah, they brought some copper, diesel, a little bit of rubber. And we have housing for them. Problem solved. Up to 10 months of food supply and trending in the good direction. Let's even growing the potato crop right now. That's good. Okay, have we created storage? Yes, loose storage is available now. So one thing I've learned to keep slightly stave off everything going completely to hell is creating a large reservoir, and I will grow this up to like 10 later at the site of mining, so that when something goes wrong, like a mine not designated or such, we can see that in the stockpile indication on the right. Nope, not there. That should be connected. There we are. And we can designate the first one, and the second one will automatically carry over. I think I did that in the right direction, but I'm not sure. Alright, so there's all our construction parts in use, as they ought to be. Let's see if this theory works. Okay. Food supply, I hope is going to be good. Slightly nervous now. But our people are happy with the water and the food they've got. Our research is not selected, so no one's happy with that. What gets me to copper refinement? Diesel and advanced diesel. Oh yes, we are going to definitely require why can't I? What am I doing wrong? Do I have to scroll down? Okay, down to maintenance. Things are breaking, and I can't figure out research. Oh, that's dandy. Okay. Hope that gets me in lawn. We have enough diesel at 310. We'll be okay for a while. But maintenance isn't working because there's no recipe. That's... No, use regular copper. And then we'll start mining the other copper as we get on our feet. Okay. Only 2 small stumbles and or micro collapses so far. Classic. Alright. Diesel is moving. Food supply is reporting low, but we hit 11 months, so it's moving back up at the moment. And we can improve that by getting to irrigated crops and having enough water to supply them. We'll do that when we get to the research for it. Consuming all of our power at the moment. So we'll get a second station built. And once we get basic diesel over here under layers, this is diesel land because this must be diesel land. It's the place that the only place where there's crude oil on the whole island. Everything else requires cargo ships and offshore exploration. But for the start, we bootstrap ourselves with this tiny little patch here. And I suppose I'm grateful that we're not doing it with a coal gasifier like we started out with here. On that note, let's free up those parts. These are still running? Yes. This is waiting on construction parts. And we can probably do ourselves a favor by upgrading these factories to produce more of them. Alright, how are we doing on maintenance? Our colony needs 60, and this can do 100? Alright, 60 every 60, 110 every 60. So this will eventually get us there. And that's good. How are we doing on parts that we can get? An excavator and 2 trucks. And think about getting some lousy copper that's pre-electrolysis. New refugees, new goodies. Basic diesel's unlocked. Okay. And we are working on the other requirements that are spooling off of that. But let's start with crude oil refining. I'm just in memory land that we're going to take 4 pumps to 1 basic distiller. And those take a lot of construction parts, don't they? 30 each, and I've only got 12 in stock. And I'm taking coal and crude oil, which we can pipe in as such. And it's okay that we're way behind on parts at the moment because we're still way up on diesel. We've only produced 100 since the last time, consumed 100 since the last time I checked. And the outputs here, we're going to have exhaust. I'll throw that in. Diesel and wastewater. And those can get trucked out for the moment. Okay. Not enough maintenance. No, that's fixing. 6 months food supply. That's kind of bouncing around right there in that area. That's okay. We got 33 workers available. Let's kick another farm into existence. More leveled out potatoes. And I want to prioritize upgrading this. I only have 6 unity and it's at 0 gain per month, so I want to leave it exactly where it is. We're spending all of it on research. keeping up with maintenance. I think it's a supply problem. Oh, it is. We don't have enough iron. That will work itself out shortly, I hope. Yeah, enough iron plates exist in aggregate. We've got 61, so they should get delivered over here. Oh, we have a very large queue of truck projects. That will also cause a problem. I'll order 2 more in sequence. And we'll hold off on doing anything because those faraway construction projects are presumably the cause of my issues. We got coal. Don't have iron ore. May need that more than we need copper, which case I can just throw a second excavator there instead. If it ever creates. Let's speed things up. Everything is now about getting sufficient iron plate to keep maintenance and the rest of the world spinning. In fact, I can check that over here that we just aren't keeping this full at all. So that tells me where our bottleneck in the supply chain is. And it's right at the source, at the mine. 76, 80. We now have an excavator. I'm only going to throw 1 truck at it at the moment because we got so backlogged on things our trucks needed that I don't think it would be wise to push that. So our goal now is to build up enough iron ore reserve to make the machine that we already have running, the whole collective machine that is our colony, manage to keep up with the supply needs. And I think that's going to be dictated by pickup trucks. Need iron for the pickup trucks, but need pickup trucks to process the iron, and just turtles all the way down. Alright, if diesel's in production and excavators are important to keep at the mine, then it's important to build ourselves a fuel station, which I think I might have researched. Yes, just found it. I think the new rule is that they need to be supplied by fluid storage, but the fluid storage can still be supplied by truck. And I may have to assign 1 truck to that. But anything that keeps my excavator from running off to the dock is going to be a grand improvement. And we'll just keep that at about 1 truck's full. Alright. I don't want the farm to be paused. Why is the farm paused? I have a slight homelessness issue. I definitely have a food supply issue. I have great questions about why. Oh, it's waiting for materials. That's no longer a question. That's an obvious state of being. Okay. Alright, with the fuel station complete, we're not researching anything else, and that's a terrible waste of resources. So where should we be spending our time? Can we... I can't get to Research Lab 2 because it's locked. We're locked based on what? Ah, we have to repair the ship dock. Okay. That makes some sense. So we'll repair our ship. And then it has to explore some technology that I forget what it's going to be. And then we can advance our tech tree into a Research 2 land. In the meantime, still on a quest to get enough iron plates to keep everything running. Diesel production. Right. That's kind of in process. When the rest of these are complete, we should see a little more throughput there. And on that note, let's get something to store that, because we do want to backlog our diesel, have something in reserve. Alright, low food supply is perennially a problem, driven primarily by this problem. Let's prioritize getting these up, because the metal that comes out of them will drive everything else forward. Okay, we have our water supplied. We have an excess of water. We managed to completely fill up the residential area's water reserve and still collect some more. We're still generally positive on Unity. We're only a little tight on food. With a new farm coming online, that should look better. Should be getting more iron supply. Check that's 24 molten every 60, and this can handle 12 molten every 60, so 3 of these ought to be able to supply it straight. Should we be able to mine enough? And I think that's the question right now. Can we mine enough? Or how can we mine enough? Because I don't think we are managing. And we have to keep an eye on the copper supply, because as our maintenance or more advanced technologies consume that, we will run into other problems. That's an interesting bit of pixelation. Alright, and the fuel station is waiting construction parts 2. Oh, we just can't do anything about that. It's a tech tree failure. There's a building available before the parts are available for it. Gonna run myself into all sorts of issues doing this. We need concrete to make construction parts too, which means we need to mine sand, which opens up a whole new hurdle of things. Alright, well, we're making enough iron plates right now. So it would seem that our problem is more the consumption of construction parts than anything else. That's a factory issue, not a mining issue. So let's start doing the requirements for construction parts 2 and get our sand going. Buildings, one of these, a concrete mixer. Okay, and then the things that will drive it. Loose storage for the sand. And we can now conveyor it in, saving our trucks a little bit of trip. Ship dock repairs available. So we can repair the shipyard with 50 construction parts too. Oh, god damn it. I've consumed all the trees we marked for consumption. So our trucks are just sitting around unhelpfully until I mark out the rest of the island, as we're just going to take everything we can get. Like that was a surprise. Alright, so if we have enough plates and we have enough facilities here, what we need to do is create twice as many working on the low end parts, and then a couple working on the more advanced parts. We're going to use 6 concrete block per 60 seconds, so let's see what our concrete mixer can do to keep up with it. Perfect. There's an even ratio, and we can help that out by warehousing it. Storage, unit storage. Flat conveyor is the correct type for that. And it'll auto-configure its type when it receives resources. Okay, new refugees, a limited food supply. No research selected. Okay, let's see what we need to do to get to irrigated farms. Simply select it. And then after irrigated farms, advanced diesel is locked, which ocean drilling and research lab 2. So we can't do much there. Queue up the captain's office. I think everything else is held up on labs 2. So I should remember to pause our maintenance after this and shift our focus to getting the ship out to sea with its 50 construction parts too. Alright, now that we have right storage available, we can locally store our coal and our ore. And supply them. Nope. These are loose products. They should be stored in the right facility. There we go. Trying to remember the capacity of this. 60 per 60. 1 for 2. Okay. input. And let's do the corresponding one to get the slag output. I told myself this was going to be a temporary location. And here we are. Whoops. No, that is not a thing. Alright, time for some buffers. No, why do you think that's where I'm trying to put my mouse? That's an insane. Cool. And we've created what we need for construction parts in. And I will just cope with the delivery of them outbound as it is. Keep a little concrete slab for me. And definitely keep a lot of coal and iron ore. In fact, all the coal and iron ore should be kept. And none of the slag should be kept. There we go. That will hopefully slightly reduce our truck inefficiency. I'm going to run into so many problems here with this spacing. I may deal with it by just shifting the farm over. That might make sense. I like that we're getting a good bit of construction parts together, and our dock is coming along. So what's next? Sand is in operation, quite smoothly, in fact. Too smoothly, in fact. Something's wrong. No water source. Oh, right. I'm probably competing with the colony for water now, which is so much less than ideal. No. No. Build them before the rains. Nature's taunting me. It's taunting me very intensely. Alright, once again, not enough housing. That beacon is working overtime. And food is concerningly scarce. Scarce? so we'll have to bring irrigation online to, oh yeah, look at that delay. 6 months of inactivity. No research selected. Why don't we pause these until we get to a place where we can make use of it. We have irrigated farms researched. We have the dock repaired. We can repair the ship, which gives us construction parts remaining to upgrade our first field to an irrigated farm. Okay. Progress marches along. Diesel's in production. We'll get all disposal, for it. We'll double up our storage. Wastewater can stockpile in that. And now that excavator is running way the hell over here, let's make sure that stays full enough. Oh, no, things are coming in and filling themselves up. Oh, you know what? That diesel is just closer to here than... that makes sense. That's good. I'm okay with that. I'm pretty happy with that. What I'm not happy with is not seeing any construction parts 2 being produced. And that is because no concrete slab. Concrete slabs are in short supply because life be that way is apparently the whole answer. Yep. Our trucks are lost in busyness again, which I don't know where their errands are, but that growing queue is not a great sign. Not sure what it's a sign of or how it came to be. That said, no, we're not trying to keep coal full. I mean, we should store it there when we can. Oh, you know, if we don't have a backlog of coal, we're going to have other issues rapidly. So 3 general purpose trucks, an excavator, and 2 more trucks for coal. We're still somehow not in the shit on copper yet, but I'm watching it with trepidation. Our maintenance is nearly at its limits, 110 over 84. Still working, but we will run into issues there eventually. I think when I get to the steel phase, I will conquer this area and rework my entire setup. And I might run the power plant here. Yeah, we'll go with that idea. Layout is kind of everything sometimes. Let's assign a truck this so I never watch an excavator go across the map like that again. As much as we're short on trucks. I think trucks sitting idle while the excavator's away is even worse. Alright, the ship dock's ready. Captain's office, refugees, irrigated farms. Hooray for all of it. Research labs are paused until we can get on with that. Waiting for materials, which is entirely dependent on our trucks right now. I think it is time to spend down Unity and create trucks more quickly. Alright. We have a small stockpile of iron ore. We have no coal in stock. And sand is... that's fine. Probably because we... nope, we're full of water too. Okay. Let's be wise about this and make sure that we use the water collection as efficiently as we can get it to be. Just reroute some of this piping here. In fact, I'll go ahead and issue the deletion order for that one ahead of time. No, there's no reason for it to connect where it is. That's silly. Yeah, we'll do that in a slightly more sane configuration. Oh, this backlog's growing. All right. Alright, a little bit of a check. How are we doing? Food supply is stable. We have one irrigated farm, but no water supply to it. Water here is doing okay. Our trucks are extremely behind. That's really what it's about, the truck situation. We can save ourselves a little sanity here by storing wood product near where it'll be needed. And we now have world exploration as an option. And one of these keys maps to it, but I don't know which one. Tab. Alright. Not enough fuel. Well, damn. Why don't we fuel the ship? I think we're producing enough diesel to just completely light some on fire. In fact, we had better be, because our options are somewhat low. Oh no. We're not producing enough diesel. That used to be kind of full. And the ship is very hungry. Very hungry. Bridge that high. There we go. myself in here. That's okay. It's ugly and it can stay that way. Eventually there'll be no oil left in the ground. What are you doing? There we go. Nice little bit of spaghetti. And yep, that will at least produce some. Oh my god, the truck queue is getting worse. It's just. We have this. Oh no, we don't have enough plates for trucks. We consumed all the things. Yep. Yep. There's nothing to do but try and get more trucks and wait until we can get more coal. I've been wanting that second excavator over here forever. Alright, is the ship fueled? Yes. Now what's wrong? Crew. Go forth and explore. Okay, and with that, we have our first bit of exploration. And somewhere, that brings us to the end of our first hour. We're repaired to dock. The ship is out to sea. We're building up through construction parts 2, which is required to get there. The truck queue is finally managed to get out of oh my god, what is happening land. And we're down to 80 copper, which is, I think, going to be our next concern. Getting that copper operation up. So another excavator for the coal in process. 1 excavator and 2 more trucks for the other area. And that's where we're going to call it. Exploring the world with our ship and finding our first oil derrick. Thanks for joining me for our rebuilding of civilization off in the middle of nowhere.